Ryan Tannehill finished QB 12 last year. 357 completions, 531 attempts, 67.2% completion, 3,734 yards, 21 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 55 rush attempts, 270 yards, and 7 touchdowns on the ground. Thoughts on Ryan Tannehill?
The fact that he finished as quarterback 12.
I had to triple check that through a couple of different places because I didn't believe it.
I think it's possible again, especially if Henry stays healthy, right? Like where Tannehill kind of got his run 2 seasons ago was his ability to boot off of the play action because teams were so focused in on Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill actually had more rushing yards and more rushing touchdowns than Lamar Jackson. I mean, I remember talking about that, and everyone's kind of going, same type of thing. We're double, triple checking the stats. He's not a sexy pick. Like he's just not. But seemingly, much like Kirk Cousins, always finds a way to push himself into that top end of QB2 to the bottom end of QB1. So there's some return there. It's not always the prettiest. And he's not a guy that I'm going after in single quarterback leagues by any stretch. But if you're in a super flex league, you can do worse. Like if the numbers show it. You can do much worse.
So last year was the first time that he had more than 500 pass attempts. And keep in mind, he was on the outs there with Miami the last couple of years, and then was fighting with Mariota to get playing time in Tennessee his first year there. But it was the last time that he had over 500 pass attempts. And so the yards were there, and the touchdowns really weren't in terms of what he did the year previous when he was the starter in Tennessee, but the interceptions were way up. So if you can get the interceptions number to come down, the touchdown number to get closer to, he had 33 in 2020 and he had 21 last year. You can get that, you can find that touchdown number to get closer to 25, 26. You bring the interceptions number down from 14 back to maybe 10, maybe 9 in that range, then that's a market improvement. Like that's a big improvement that you're talking there. So, and I could easily see that happening. The interceptions number comes down, the touchdown number goes up.
Do not see him being a big yardage guy, a big touchdown guy. A lot of folks look at this and think that 2 years ago when he had 33 touchdowns in a season, that's more the Ryan Tannehill that they should expect and that they think is going to be present. That season was the anomaly. That was not what you are to expect. That is the outlier there. When you look at it, his touchdown rate that season was almost 7%. So almost 7% of every pass he threw ends in a touchdown. The league average is closer to about 4%. Last year when he did that, it was a 3.9% on that one, and he had 21 touchdowns there. So that's more of what you're going to expect is around that 24 touchdown mark.